Hey everyone, what's up? This is Blaze, and welcome to pretty much my follow-up video to the gear setup video that I did for level 95. This is going to be my level 95 deck setup video, but before I go ahead and get started, I just wanted to go over some updates on what's going on right now. So today, if you're watching this on Monday, the 13th of February, then today is King's Isle is having a Mega Monday sale where the Mega Snacks in the Crown Shop are on sale, so they're from 2,500 down to 1,500. So you get Mega Snacks on Mega Monday for 1,500 crowns, and then the other thing that they have started this week that's going to be only for a limited time is 25% off everything in your cart. So that's even better than when they had the mystery coupon sale back in December. This is probably better than a lot of people's coupons that you got, because I got like 10% off or 15. I can't even remember. It was pretty bad. So this is probably better than that because it's 25% off your entire cart. So I don't know if they have the 60 for 60 sale, but I don't know. It's probably not worth it if you're gonna go for that many crowns. But I don't know if you're going for, like, you know, what is it, $25? That would actually make a pretty good difference on price. But anyway, that is what kind of the sales they've thrown out at the beginning of this week. And you know, I don't know if it's pointing to anything that's going to happen later this week in terms of the test realm or anything, but we're just gonna have to wait and find out for that. So let's go ahead and get started on what I wanted to go over in this video, and it's basically just my deck setups for level 95. I did this for level 90 after I finished Aquila. I don't know if there's that much that's different, but I'm just gonna kind of go over what decks I use right now for battles and all that stuff. So basically, let's go ahead and start with my healer deck. Honestly, this is probably the deck that I use the most because it's just the most helpful for the people that I battle with and all that stuff. So in my healer deck, I have a Colossal, which I only use on my Spinosaur, and I only use a Spinosaur if I really have to, because sometimes there's just a boss that has like Poseidon, for instance, would be a good example of this, who, you know, our main DPS can't take him out, so I just kind of help with that. I probably will take it out for other battles, but I've been using the Spinosaur for helping with Poseidon and Tartarus runs. Moving on to Potent Traps. These are pretty important because I always use these on feints. I'm pretty much the main person that puts feints on the enemies. And then with Primordial, I use that on my Unicorns or Satyrs, because I do throw in some heals when people are getting low on health in the battle. Unicorn is actually pretty helpful because with the amount of incoming and outgoing that I have with my gear, I can actually get up to like 1,500 to 2,000 if I crit on a Unicorn heal, so it's pretty good. Satyrs are always good if someone's really low on health and I need to help them out. And then the Light Blaze are just for boosting my Spinosaur, but I'll probably take those out if I do some other kind of battle that's not Tartarus. But this is pretty much the main deck I use. It's really not that complex. Also, my sideboard here, I have Healing Currents that come from my pet, which is actually really helpful. And then the Hex and the Spirit Sphere, which I never use. But this is pretty much the main deck that I use in most of my battles because it's just helpful. I can help, you know, feint the boss, which is, you know, always useful, and then healing when we need to. So that's pretty much my main use of that deck. I don't really use too many of these other ones. Cell Survival, I don't think there's anything in this one. I think it's just like a random deck I used. Yeah, this has nothing in it. The Fire Boss deck is what I use when we're going up against enemies that are, like, when we're farming. When we're going up against easy enemies, I would just Seraph, and then possibly put a feint on them if necessary. This one I think is just one I have like a bunch of heals in. I've never used this one before. Well, maybe I have, but I don't remember. Never really used that one. My Life main deck, I don't really use this as much. I used to for some of the Chrysalis Part 1 episodes for the Road 95. I did use it a couple times for that. But it's basically just my deck that has everything in it that I could need, pretty much. 4 swords for hitting all, a bunch of feints, some heals, some blades, and I use Vengeance so I can crit more. Yeah, that's pretty much just my all-around deck for any battle. Tank deck is the one that I use for mob battles when I'm blading blue. I use this a bunch in a Chrysalis Part 1 episodes because it's just all I need to put on blue is a 1 Spirit Blade and then a sharpened Spirit Blade, and then he can go ahead and hit with Scarecrow and kill him. So that was pretty much the deck that I used for that. But yeah, honestly, I probably only use like 2 of these, mostly, sometimes 3. It just depends on the battle. You know, I recommend having a bunch of, you know, different decks. You can always find them in the bazaar and that kind of thing to you know, for whatever need you have for whatever battle it is and all that stuff. I think it's useful to have a bunch of different ones for any kind of instance. I know people have like their mob ones and their boss ones. I think that's pretty good, especially if you're soloing. That's pretty helpful. I know that there are new decks for, I do have the level 93 deck, which is right here, but it gives 1% damage rather than 1% income. That's why I'm still using this one as my main deck, pretty much, even though I don't use it as much. But there is a level 95 deck that gives 2% incoming, but I decided not to go for it because it's just too much of a hassle. The only people that drop it is Quartermaster Rackham, who the only way to get to him is to do 1 mob battle and then face him, so that kind of sucks. And the only other way is to face Timon White Flame, and we went back to Timon, and I think you can only defeat him once because he's not, you can't face him again. He's just standing there as an NPC, so I don't really know what's up with that. But I'm probably not going to be going for the level 95 life deck because it's just not worth it to me. But anyway, that's pretty much the ones that I use for now. So hope that helped any other lives out there who are looking for, you know, some kind of 95 deck setup, or you know, for anyone else who just wants some tips on, you know, battling and, you know, what kind of decks you'd use for certain situations. So yeah, I do recommend having like a bunch of them, just so you can switch easily, so you're not clicking to get rid of all the cards in your entire board at once. So whatever. Hope that helped you guys out a little bit. And you know, this is just basically the follow-up to my gear setup. I was gonna include this one in it, but I think I would talk too much about setting up my deck setup anyway. So I decided to break it up into 2 episodes, which I think was for the better anyway. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.